Let's give one more try. Hopefully this time the visuals are coming in straight. I'm sorry, I do not know what is happening. I do not understand what is happening. Now, I hope you guys can see me. Oh Lord, this is this is just impossible. Extremely, I'm sorry for those earlier signals. I don't know what is happening with StreamYard, why they are struggling my visuals coming out. How are we doing this morning? So it's match day. Arsenal welcome Chelsea to the Emirates. Interesting match. Very, very interesting. It's a must win. We have to win this match. We have to win it. There is no other way about it. We have to win. If you're just seeing the notification, please come in and like the video. Very, very important. Strike the like button. Extremely, extremely important. Let's make sure everything is good. Are you guys hearing me? Hopefully, you guys are hearing me. If you're watching the playback, be kind enough to strike the like button too. Very, very important. Now that the visuals are working, and that StreamYard did not behave himself. So we welcome Chelsea to the Emirates today in a must-win in our title chase, our title chart. Depending on the terminology you want to use, it's interesting because Chelsea somehow find a way to raise their game against the big boys. That's just factual. Chelsea find a way to raise their games against the big boys. I expect them to huff and puff. But I think we have the quality to beat them. Yesterday, news filtered out that Paul Palmer had illness and is a doubt for this game. Now, even though a lot of people are writing him off that he might not actually feature in this game, I do not believe it until I see the team news. We know it's not an injury, just illness, right? We don't know the severity of the illness. So I still expect him to be part and parcel of the team. I'll be surprised it doesn't come true, especially if it's just illness and it's not an injury. So according to Pochettino, he will be assessed today whether he can participate or not. Whether he had a few minutes or he will start, we'll find out in the next few hours. So I am not biting the bait, thinking that Paul Palmer is out. We know Paul Palmer is he's a key player for Chelsea. For the way they play, he's their go-to player, even though he has scored a lot of penalties, he's their go-to player when it comes to Chelsea moving forward this season. He has been the marquee kind of signing this season to what they've done in the season. So if Popama is missing today, that will take a lot out of the Chelsea attack. We know how Mr. Nicholas Jackson can be very, very wasteful in front of goal. We saw how he wasted a lot of chances against Man City earlier in the week against in the FA Cup. So if you don't have Palmer there, I have Jackson. We know Raheem Sterling is not the most lethal of their forward players. So it will be a struggle. It will be a struggle if Palmer does not feature in today's match. Now, for me, that makes it easier for us. I don't really care about Chelsea. That makes it easier for us if Palmer is not going to feature in today's match, which I do not believe until I see the team sheet. Before we actually deep dive into the nitty-gritty of the match, let's talk about a player who was unfortunately out, who has been unfortunately out for almost 9 months in Yorin Timber. We all have seen, I'm guessing a lot of Arsenal fans have seen that snippet, that video of Yorin Timber scoring that spectacular screamer in the under-21s against Blackburn. It just shows that even though he has been out for a long time, physically he might not be there, but mentally still there. For him to have the nerve to have to try that after coming back from a 9-month layoff and your first relative competitive game in the under 21s, you have the mentality to try that. You have the nerve, the effort to try that. It just shows that we miss this guy a lot. We've missed Yorin Timber a lot. We know that if Yorin Timber will have been part and parcel of this team, maybe we have another extra 6 to 9 points. Just maybe. I'm not saying for sure, but maybe we'll have another extra 6 to 9 points because defensively is solid, offensively is secured. He can dribble out of tight spaces. It gives us alternative on the left side of the defense as a left back and a right back. He can play both positions effectively. He's like a better version of Zinchenko, who can defend and invert perfectly. We've missed Yorin Timber this season. We missed him a lot. Unfortunately, injuries cannot be planned for. We didn't buy an injury-ridden player. We bought a player who has shown consistency in terms of availability. But unfortunately, you cannot predict all these ACL injuries. He had that ACL injury against, I think, Nottingham Forest at the beginning of the season, and that was how we missed out on a quality player who have taken that team to the next level. So when people just waffle and talk recklessly about how Arteta has not done well this season, I will have done better. I'm like, you understand? We missed Partey, we missed your team, but these are quality players that are giving us. I'm very sure an extra 6 to 9 points this season. Extra 6 to 9 points this season. Partey has barely played barely played 3 games or 4 games this season in a whole. Partey has barely played 3 to 4 games in a whole this season, but a bit of substitute appearances in the last few weeks. So those are two quality players that have taken our level to the next level, but unfortunately, injury has robbed us of those qualities. So I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see him back playing for 5 minutes. I don't think he will have any influence on the remainder of the season, even though we are all excited to see him play for 5 minutes in the other 21s. I don't see him playing today, which is impossible because he played yesterday. I don't even see him playing in the North London derby, even though Arteta was kidding about the possibility of that. I don't see it happening. So I'm just happy he's back. I'm just happy he's back. Let him continue to rehabilitate gradually and carefully. There's no need to rush him back. I'm hearing about Netherlands by inviting for the Euros. I think we can do a bit more. Let us protect these players. I understand Netherlands wants to win the Euros, but they can do it without Yuri Timber. He just come back. There's no need to rush him back. We need him to recover adequately. We don't want a relapse. We've seen how people who come back from ACL injuries, if not carefully managed, can relapse. So there's no need to rush him internationally and club wise. Let him continue to do his rehab easily. And next season, he can come back and have a full season and play well. There is no need to rush him. We're all excited. We all want to get back. No, 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 no. Calm your nerves. Hold your horses. There is no need to rush your Timber back. It's too early. It's too early. We are not rushing him back. There's no need for that. So let's talk about Mikel Arteta. He was asked about his summer plans, and he has a few things to say. So let me read what he had to say when he was asked about his summer plans yesterday. We have to see where we'll finish. Very important. We have to see where we'll finish. There's still a huge chance because a lot of people are writing us up. There's still a huge chance we'll actually still win the Premier League. And we win Premier League doesn't mean there will be a significant change in the summer plans because we still need to move to the next level. The next level is actually winning the league and continue to win the league and stay at that high level. You don't want to win the league and fall off because we know how competitive the English Premiership can be. We know how competitive Man City especially are. And Liverpool, we don't know what they will be next season, especially when Klopp leaves. We don't know how fiercely competitive Liverpool will be. But right now, we need to make sure we maintain our standard when we get to that level. Once we win the league, we have to stay there and continue to win a few more leagues and possibly the Champions League too. So, according to Arteta, we have to see where we finish first and to see what's capable of doing. See how we are going to make another step or two forward because we are not satisfied where we are. Exactly. They're not satisfied where when people are always shouting, oh, Arteta needs to do more. He knows he needs to do more. And we have to put things in perspective. What do you do more? Because affordability is very important. He does not own the club. So asking to do, meaning the Cronkies have to provide. And shout out to the Cronkies. They've been very, very generous with their spending in recent history within the guidelines of the FFP. You can't just go splurging because there are guidelines. Because if there are no guidelines, trust me, Newcastle will have actually abused the market. So there are guidelines. So we need to spend within our budget and within the FFP guidelines. So I'm not flustered by the reckless talkings in the media, especially from Arsenal fans who are always shouting, revamp the squad. We need to do more. We know we need to do more. Within reason, we need to do more. And I'm sure we will actually add the adequate quality of players to take us to the next level. We need to bring players that will take us to the next level. What kind of players will take us to the next level? You are looking like I said in the other video I posted earlier today. Isaac is that player that will actually take us from how do I describe it? He's a player that will take half chances and make them full chances. Is that player that can beat a man or two and have that moment of brilliance. We've seen at Newcastle is evolving to that player. The next step is to bring it to a national team who have quality around him that can take him to that next level make the team better and make himself better. Because sometimes you need your environment, you need players around you that can make you better, that will raise your game and will generally raise the team ethics. So for me, Isaac is a player we need to go for, even though we know the media reps of Newcastle are saying they will not sell. I've heard that along. I see. Well, is a generic response. We're not going to sell. I understand it. Who wants to sell their price assets? Newcastle are not. I'm definitely are not trying to sell their price asset, but unfortunately, football don't work that way. We know football do not work that way, especially if he's not from Newcastle, he's not from England. His loyalty is compromised. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Most players are mercenaries. You don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. So I think with the right push, the right finances, Newcastle will sell. And we know Newcastle need to sell some players because FFP is looming. They need to balance their books. They need to still buy a few players. They bought a few players last season, especially Tonali, who has been, going through these betting scandals. He hasn't played. I think he has been banned for twice based on betting. So they need players in their ranks. They need to revamp their squad. They didn't make so much money from Champions because they dropped out of the group stages. So Newcastle can say all these things to Ben Jacobs to regurgitate. The truth remains that Newcastle need to sell. Whether it's Guimaraes or Isaac, they need to sell. And when Arsenal go knocking there with the right finances, they will consider it. I do not see. I've seen Manchester United do it in those days where they go to other clubs, the similarly smaller clubs, and they go there and take their best players. They will go there and take your best player. So Arsenal in that position right now to go to Newcastle and said, we love Isaac. We would like to buy him respectfully. We want him and we'll have him. Now, Newcastle have the richest owners, but unfortunately, their hands are tied behind their backs because of FFP. Richest owner doesn't translate to richest club, unfortunately. I don't make the rules. You didn't make the rules. It is what it is. So go to Newcastle and pick Alexander Isak. He will fit perfectly to our attack. He is the most Arsenal-like player we can go and get right now. So go there, flaunt your power and the money, and get me Isak as quick as possible. Now, there are other rumors that Arsenal might be interested in Guimaraes, which is he's a good player, but I don't like his temperament. He's not about what I like, but he's Arteta thinks I'm managing and he wants for the team. Who am I? Just from my own personal opinion, I don't think. Yes, he can play 8 and 6, but I don't think he's that guy. My preference would be Zubimendi. I've seen a lot of Zubimendi. For me, he's a Jorginho, a younger version of Jorginho with legs. So I'll prefer a Zubimendi in that midfield who can give us quality as that 6 from the back and can actually help Rice to be a better player, because you have to look at the strength of your team and your weaknesses. And for me, like people think I'm having an agenda against Rice. I have no agenda against an international player. I'm just saying Rice doesn't have the set quality that can make us as good as we can. This is not a slight on Rice. It's just limited in the offensive passing. And to make him a better player, like we saw in the 10 minutes against Wolves, Partey comes in, suddenly Rice becomes a better player. So why not you, since you invested £100 million on Rice, and a lot of people think he can play 6 and 8. He cannot play 6 and 8 at the top level. But you can subsidize him or bring players that can make him look better than he is. If you get my gist, Rice cannot play the way Partey plays. That's just a fact. He can't do it. But you can bring in a player that can help him look better than he is. And if you bring in Zubimendi to play that 6, Rice can play that 8. Not because he has great passing. So he's marking from the front. He's defending from the front. And he's helping Zubimendi to orchestrate from the back. At least it doesn't make our money going to waste. But you're expecting Rice to orchestrate from the back as a DM, as a 6. He can't. Can he tackle? Yes, that's his strength. But passing is not his strength, especially those incisive passes. I'm talking about any kind of silent passing. If you are looking for quality passing, Rice is not your guy. But if you're looking for a destroyer as a DM, Rice is your guy. So that's just my profile. If I'm going to get a midfielder this season, I'll go for a Zubimendi or a Fafana. Now, I'm not saying if Arteta thinks he can make Gomeres do it. I've watched a lot of Gomeres. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but will it be that player that will take us to the next level? Now, right now, we need to be careful what kind of players we buy. We need players that will take us to the next level, not just maintain the level we are, that will take us to the next level. It's very, very important we do that so that we don't waste resources and funds. So let's see how the summer is going to be. I'm interested to see how the summer is going to pan out. I'm waiting for it. It should be an interesting summer this season because I'm excited that we've made progress, regardless of some people think we've not made progress. I cannot change your opinion, especially if you have an agenda against the manager or against the team. I can't change that, especially if your agenda is driven by because you want to get clicks and likes on YouTube or any other platform to provoke. Because it's a content strategy to provoke a lot of fans into a kind of frenzy. Because how do you rationally say that Arsenal has not made progress this season? I want to win the league. I want to win the league, but I know there are mitigating circumstances. I'm not stupid. So we have to be balanced in these conversations about Arsenal has not make progress. How do you say Arsenal not make progress? Like we have we have in my opinion the best centre half pairing in Europe. Having the best centre pairing doesn't mean you don't concede goals, but how many goals are you conceding? Look at our defensive numbers. They are fantastic defensive numbers. So it's not doom and gloom. I'm hoping you can bring in the right profile this season and that can take us to the next level, in my humble opinion. So let's now speak about today's match against Chelsea, which is a must win. Uh, we have to make sure we don't concede the first goal. It's very imperative we do not concede the first goal. Concede the first goal doesn't mean you're going to lose, but it could make it harder, especially if we know that our players are looking a bit leggy, especially in the second half. And if you look at the fixture congestion we've been dealt with. So if you concede the first goal, it takes a toll on you physically and mentally. So we have to make sure we do not concede the first goal. And if we concede the first goal, we have to try and score as quick as possible. If Chelsea, the rumors around Paul Palmer are actually true, and he doesn't feature in this game, it makes it easier for us, which is fine. But we have to defend well. We know Chelsea are going to raise their game. Trust me, Chelsea are going to raise their game today. Chelsea are going to be feisty. It is well documented against City, against Manchester United, against Spurs, all the top teams, all the traditional top teams. Chelsea this season have raised their games. Now, they will struggle against a Brighton, a Luton. They'll struggle against the mid-table teams, the teams in the second page. But once they see the top teams, somehow they raise their game. Even though in the FA Cup they lost against Man City at the weekend, they raise their game. So I'm expecting a relatively tough game against Chelsea, but we know what we have to do. Manage the game properly, especially if you score the first goal. If it's possible, score the second goal. If not possible, manage the game properly. We cannot afford a draw or a loss, or else we are out of the title race. This is where maturity comes in. This is where we have to show mettle. This is where we have to show bravery. We cannot afford to get a draw or lose this game. If you do that, we're not mathematically out, but we know morally we are out. Because Man City, even though we've played the game more than them, if they win their game, they are back to 2 points ahead of us. Now, imagine we lose another match. We are giving them the impetus and the motivation to go win their games. But if we win today's game, that's more pressure being piled on Man City that was going to play on Thursday against Brighton. So we have to do our job so the pressure can be reversed on Man City. It is very, very imperative. So, and according to certain reports, Tomiyasu should be fit for today's match, which I'm happy because if Tomiyasu is not fit, we have to just go with Zini. And we know Zini can be very, very clumsy when it comes to playing certain matches. So Zini is very clumsy, and I don't want to see. I'm sorry, I do not want to personally see Kivio, not as a left back, not as a centre half. As a left back, I do not want to see Kivio. Not that he's a bad player, but he struggles. And in recent games, even in the last game against Wolves, we're lucky that Wolves didn't punish us. That's the difference between playing against quality. If that was a Bayern, that match, that chance he considered against Wolves, a quality player will have scored that goal, and the complexion of the game is different. That's how I always tell people. The fact that we can get away with certain situations in the Premier League doesn't mean you can get away with it in Europe. We saw, see, the goals conceded against Bayern, sorry to bring back, was because the mistakes we made were punished in the Champions League. We'll make same mistake in the Premier League. Sometimes we don't get punished unless you are playing against the top teams. So that's what I personally doesn't want to see. Give your players left back, but I understand Arteta has to play him if we have no other option to play that position. But if we have Zinchenko, regardless of the fan agenda against Zinchenko, he's still a better left back than Kivio. So if Tomiyasu is not fit, I'm expecting to see Zini there. We know the centre halves is going to be Gabriel and Saliba, provided there are no injury updates that will affect those two. We know the right back is locked down by Ben White. In the midfield, we know it's going to be Declan Rice. Will it be Jorginho? I think it might be Jorginho this time. I don't expect Partey to start. I'll be surprised if Partey is fit enough to start, because in recent history, aside from the Luton game, Arteta has not started Partey, and I'm sure it's because of his fitness issue. So we know in the 10 it's going to be Odegaard. Odegaard has been playing a lot of games. Odegaard, he's been playing a lot of games, so I expect him to start. He's the captain of the team. We know Saka is going to limp out and limp back into the starting lineup. How many times have we seen Saka limp out and limp back to the starting lineup? So I expect Saka to limp back in the starting lineup. I expect, would it be Martinelli or Trossard? Because in the last two games, he has been starting with Trossard. So I won't be surprised if he starts Trossard today. But I think we should give Martinelli a run into this match to get back to his best, even though he has been struggling. This season for Martinelli has not been a best. And I have my commentary and I have my reasons why I think Martinelli might have actually struggled so much this season. So we know the attack. It might be Kai Havertz or Jesus. What will be my preference? I'll prefer to go with Kai Havertz because I will love him to sink it into Chelsea today. Because Chelsea fans have had a lot to say about this player. He has come lover. So I love Kai Havertz to do a lot of damage to Chelsea if possible today. So I know Kai Havertz, either in the midfield or in the attack, will be playing today against Chelsea. So I'm relatively confident. I'm relatively confident we can actually beat Chelsea today. If you ask me to go to predict, I'll go for a 3-1. I think we might concede. I'll go for a 3-1. I think Arsenal will beat them. I think we'll win today. I think the Emirates will be loud. The players will be up for it. They know what's at stake. The players at this moment know what's at stake. We need to win today's match. I get it, they might be tired, but keep pushing, right? You are almost there at the finish line. Keep pushing. It's not last night that players are tired, right? The Liverpool players are tired, the Man City players are tired. They're even complaining in the media about the fixture congestion. So it shows how tough and grueling this season has been. So let's keep pushing. It is still possible to win this league. It is still very, very possible. I am not giving up hope, provided we win our matches and keep the goal difference the way it is. Take the chance. That chance is not there. I am not giving up on it. I'm not giving up on it. That chance is still there. So let's see what we can do today. The match will be in the next few hours. Hopefully, we are all smiling and we are doing a positive instant reaction. And tomorrow morning, I'll be here to do a positive review of our potential victory against Chelsea. I know we drew in the first corresponding fixture when we play at the Stamford Bridge, unfortunately, but this time I'm hoping it will be very, very different. Whether it's Jorginho, the Rice, or Partey and Rice, I prefer Partey and Rice because Partey gives us like dynamic in our midfield. He raises the level of the team by himself, and him too is a good player on his day. But we know the injuries have not been fair on Partey. Father time has not been fair on Partey, and maybe I'm overreaching. I don't think it will start. Maybe it will play a part, but I don't think Partey will start. I think it's Jorginho that'll play. And I've seen what Chelsea will do. They'll make sure they put Gallagher to aggressively make sure he doesn't allow Jorginho any time and space on the ball. That's how I prefer Partey, because if you put an aggressive Gallagher on Partey is press resistant. Partey can beat him a few times. And I've seen we saw it in the preseason 2 years ago in America when Gallagher was trying to press Partey and Partey was embarrassing him countless times. So if we have that pass a play to the 90% of a victory. But you have Jorginho. I'm skeptical, but I still think we can still win and beat Chelsea at the Emirates. So guys, let me know you're watching the playback. Let me know your predictions in the comment section. Very, very important. So we discussed earlier Timber, who is back. I'm happy, but I don't expect him to feature in any of our matches this season. I think let's allow him to do his rehab gradually and let him get fit for next season. We're all excited. We saw that screamer, fantastic screamer against the Blackburn under 21, but there's no need to rush him back. Let him continue to do his rehab and come back stronger for us next season. We know he's a quality player. We all know he's a quality player. They don't need to rush your quality players back and get them into a relapse. So that, and we've discussed the potential of the signings. Arteta hoping to make this summer to take us to the next level. I.e. Alexander Isak, I.e. Zubimendi, and maybe Nico Williams or Olise. So let's see what we have stored in the summer for us to take us to that next level. Then we discussed today's match day, Arsenal versus Chelsea at the Emirates is a match we need to win to maintain our title charge and race in this season's Premier League. So I'm hoping for the best today. Hopefully we'll win. There's no other alternative. But if something happens that we don't win, it's going to be a meltdown. It is going to be a meltdown. So, guys, do me a favor, like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you're not yet to subscribe. Very important. And make sure you turn on your notification bells. Very important. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.